The 2026 season seems to be another silly season one in preparation, as tons of drivers could shake up the grid entirely, starting with Perez to Cadillac and ending all the way with a shocking move from Russell to Red Bull. These drivers hold the most potential to reshape the sport as we know it. Let's start with Sergio Perez and the rumours revolving around him joining Cadillac. The American team is joining the grid from 2026 onwards, and from 2029 they will be producing their own engines. Perez is expected to be at the Miami GP, where Cadillac will hold their own event on Saturday, and a shocking announcement could be coming very soon. On the other hand, the director of the company, Mario Andretti, was adamant that a strong choice for their seat is definitely Sergio because of his experience and probably because of the massive backing he has behind him. Elaborating further on this, Andretti said, "I think it's very important that we keep this between us until a final decision is made. There are a lot of drivers in the US, but because of licensing and everything else, there definitely aren't too many options. Perez is an option. It could be an option, of course. All I can say is that Liam Lawson made Checo look very, very good." Be that as it may, Perez is a very popular figure in the USA, and whether or not they'll bring an American driver next to him, it's not really important in terms of viewership. On tracks like Austin and Miami, we've seen that the support was there for Sergio, and considering the massive funding he has behind his back, this is likely the first no-brainer option for Cadillac. But apart from Perez, the second seat would be up for grabs, and it seems like another driver would return from brief retirement: Joe. This is yet to be confirmed, but talks are well underway because Cadillac would love a driver who's worked with Ferrari's engines throughout his entire career, which is precisely what Joe has done. And while the newcomers are now shape-shifting the future of the sport, we must be looking at the hottest rumours that surround F1 as it is, which is normally Max Vstappen. The four-time world champion has been dubbed to leave the team sooner rather than later because of the downward spiral that they have entered into. And of course, while this is yet to be confirmed, there are tons of talks going on behind closed doors that the media doesn't know about. What is also known is that Vstappen has a contract clause that will likely enable him to exit the team if he's not in the top three in the Drivers' Championship. This was then rumoured to be the top two in the category, but what is certain is that if he drops the ball to both McLaren drivers, he'll be in a position to change his attitude towards the Austrian team and seek a way out. Elaborating on this matter to a greater extent and talking about when this is going to be relevant, Marco went on to say, "We need to make the RB21 more competitive. As things stand, the exit clause will not be in effect, but Max will just look for the opportunities where he can get it. At the moment, I hope that is still far away. We want that fifth title. The whole team is focused on that." Some public information has been leaked, such as the massive offer that was made from Aston Martin towards Red Bull's driver, $300 million over the course of 3 years. In combination with Newey and Honda, this could be too much for Vstappen to turn down, but nevertheless, it's not just the Silverstone-based squad that has a lot of interest in a driver like Max. On the other hand, we have Mercedes, and even though Wolff committed to the current lineup he has, we do know for a fact that he will find it extremely hard to ignore the availability of Vstappen. He missed him once in their respective careers, and he will definitely make sure to not miss him for the second time in a row. Of course, the situation is now looking different because he signed Antonelli as the future of the team, but if the duo can be completed with Vstappen instead of Russell, then it's going to be a massive shapeshifter for the F1 world. Mercedes is likely going to have a huge advantage in the newly regulated era because of the power that is being put in the engines and the large emphasis on this component. Therefore, they have something that Honda cannot promise this early: the power of their ICE. If Verstappen wants to continue his championship winning streak, then the only way might be with Mercedes, the team he desperately wanted to take down in 2021 and succeeded in the Drivers' Championship. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, 3 doesn't fit into 2, so one of the current Mercedes drivers would have to leave to make room for Vstappen. That is dubbed to be Russell because there have been informative talks held between the Brit and Horner, as both of them are aware that there are situations that are well beyond their control. For example, if Mercedes and Vstappen are committed to making a relationship work, then neither Horner nor Russell can do anything to stop it. But Russell is so far adamant that the work between him and Mercedes in terms of the contractual details is done and dusted, and the team will wait until the European part of the sport starts before they officially sign it. Be that as it may, we won't believe anything until we see it, because this, of course, was the case with Hamilton as well. And, well, look how that ended up. Another big bombshell can be seen in Arvid Lindblad, the current F2 driver, who became the youngest ever winner of the championship by winning the sprint race in Jeddah. Both Horner and Marco were full of praise for the 17-year-old, and now it's believed that Lawson is under great pressure because he'll fail to live up to the expectations of the Racing Bulls. Hadjar scored points on 2 occasions with the Faenza-based squad, while the Kiwi driver is yet to do so after his first 2 races with Red Bull, in which the Austrian team decided that he is not good enough to continue the future with. Elaborating on Lindblad and his potential, Helmut Marko dubbed him to be the next world champion, as he went on to say, "We are looking for a new champion, and I think the next one, which looks really promising, is Arvid Lindblad. What makes him outstanding is his pure speed." And the reason why we believe it's Lawson who will get the boot is because of the praise that Hadjar has been receiving from Helmut Marko. Even though we believed this wouldn't happen because of how poorly the Frenchman started his season, the fact that he scored points twice and would have finished higher than P10 had it not been for the strategy of both Williams ahead of him in Jeddah speaks volumes of Hadjar's tenacity. Elaborating on this, Marko believes Hadjar is the revelation of the season, further adding, "From my point of view, Hadjar is the revelation of this first part of the championship. The young Parisian was unfamiliar with most of the tracks, but he was immediately quick and made very few mistakes. Apart from the slip-up in Australia, Isaac manages something that challenges many Formula One rookie drivers. He consistently sets good lap times during the race, handles the tyres very well, and he does it with remarkable calmness." In this ever-growing sport, the rumours are always going to be persistent until proven otherwise, and that is the case with Oliver Bearman as well. The current Haas driver is delivering top-notch performances, and given the fact that he is part of Ferrari's academy, he will always be considered as a strong candidate to drive for them in the foreseeable future. However, with all of the latest struggles that the team encountered, there is a situation in which the Brit could replace his fellow countryman Hamilton in the blink of an eye from 2027. Whether we like it or not, the acclimatization process of Hamilton is far from what he believes it would be, and the gap between him and Leclerc continued to grow from race to race. Hamilton himself said that he is not happy with the car, and if this continues in 2026 as well, Ferrari might be forced to pursue a solution in a new, younger direction, which is definitely Bearman. But let's go a bit contrary to this youth direction and talk about a potential veteran transfer for Cadillac. It's not just Perez and Joe they are interested in. Bottas is also in talks to join the American team sooner rather than later. The 10-time race winner has a lot of experience when it comes to competing at the front, and he would probably be the best solution for the team's longevity and the development of their engine. On top of that, from 2022 onwards, Bottas has a 3-year experience of working with Ferrari engines, so it's not like he should be given a blind eye to just because of the poor stint in Sauber, which he also admitted was a big mistake in his career. With all this in mind, what do you think about Formula One's upcoming transfers? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, have a look at the video that's appearing on your screen right now.